Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me for the first time. If you're not new, welcome back. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like button. I appreciate it. Today I thought there are some videos I've made about Turner syndrome, which is a illness that I have. But I feel like I have, and I talked about some of the effects that it's like caused on me, like mentally. But I feel like I haven't really addressed exactly 100% what it is and like the symptoms and effects, like physically and all that. So, and some of you, like, I didn't know what it was until obviously I was diagnosed with it. So, some of you may not even know what it is and may be super confused. So, I figured today I would just go over even what it technically is, like the definition of it, like the symptoms and effects, like biologically and physically, so people can get more of an awareness of what it even is. So, sit back and let's get into it. So I'm going to be using my phone, and I will tell you any website that I get on, so you know like where it's coming from, and it's actually not just me talking bahooty. So, and if you also are wondering why I'm not wearing makeup, it's because it's my wedding month, and I'm trying to keep my skin clear, so that's why I'm not wearing makeup. So if y'all gonna hate on that, hate on that. So first, we're gonna talk about even the definition of it. So first, this is from nichd.nih.gov, and this is the definition of Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome occurs when part or all of an X chromosome is missing from the cells in a girl's body. So normally, and it says a girl normally receives one X chromosome from each parent, mom and dad, are female and male. But Turner syndrome comes when one of those X chromosomes either isn't there or it's partly there. So they don't fully get the two full X chromosomes. Because obviously, like, when you have a male and a female, technically to make a baby, obviously parents don't have to just be female, male, male. I mean, there can be a set of parents that are male and male. I mean, we live in 2022 right now. So, but I'm just saying, technically to make a baby, you need an egg and sperm from male and female. So, and so for me, so that's what happened. And technically, on part of my X chromosome, there is a little bit of one of, like, my half chromosome, there's a little bit of Y in there. So they had to actually do some testing, because when that happens, it that lead to some type of cancer. This was back when I was 16 and diagnosed, and that was almost 10 years ago. So, and back then I was just trying to avoid the diagnosis, so, because I was just so in shock that I couldn't have kids, so I just didn't want to deal with it, was trying to avoid it, trying to just pretend it wasn't even a thing, because I was in the denial stage. And so they had testing for some type of cancer, which came back all clear. So, but that is the definition of Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome can cause a variety, and this is from mayoclinic.org. Turner syndrome can cause a variety of medical and developmental problems, including short height, failure of the ovaries to develop, and heart defects. Now, that is why I am barely over 5 foot. I'm 5 foot and half inch. That is why I've always been seen to appear younger than what I am. People always think I'm 20 instead of 25. People always thought I was, 8 instead of 13. Like, I've always been seen as younger than what I actually am, and why I'm also not tall like my siblings. My sister's like 5'7", my brother is 6'1", like my dad's 6'1", like my mom isn't that short either. Like, she's not tall, but she's not that short. Like, she's an average. So for me to be short, like, we always thought it was just me being funky, but when I was diagnosed, that kind of put things in perspective. That's why I developmentally look really young. Obviously, this may be TMI, but I don't really have breast. That's just because with Turner syndrome, I don't, because my ovaries are what's called a streak ovary. So it's literally like microscopic little worm. And this all may be TMI. So if you want to end the video wouldn't take it personally. So I don't develop estrogen, which is the female hormone. So that's why I also don't get my periods. I don't obviously have boobs, really. And why it took me forever and a half to actually get armpit hair and stuff the first time. Yeah. So it's just, that's why I developmentally look younger than what I am. And that's also why I have to take estrogen and also progesterone. Estrogen is every day. Progesterone is the first 10 days of every month. Because taking progesterone after taking estrogen for 2 years will help decrease the chance of ovarian cancer, which I did not know, but that's why we have medical doctors who tell you things like that. And that is one thing my primary care doctor told me I needed to do, and was a fact that she was given by the Turner syndrome specialist. So, now, this is from medicallineplus.gov. The most common feature of Turner syndrome is short stature, which becomes evident by the age of 5. So that, obviously, like I said, is one of the biggest things that was noticed about me. And this is from nhs.uk. Usually between the ages of 8 to 14 is when girls can be diagnosed due to failure of sexual development associated with puberty. But I was also told by the Turner syndrome specialist that it is also very rare for it to be diagnosed as late as I was at 16, because a lot of Turner syndrome babies, a lot of people that have Turner syndrome are actually diagnosed basically at birth because of physical defects that they see, which is right here under appearances from nichd.nih.gov. Features of Turner syndrome may include a short neck with a webbed appearance, low hairline at the back of the neck, low set ear, hands and feet that are swollen or puffy at birth, and soft nails that turn upward. So my doctor said because of physical appearances, a lot of them are diagnosed pretty much not long after birth. So it was kind of rare that I was 16 and a half before I was even diagnosed. And I was only diagnosed because I had a lack of period, and I was 16, and with family history, that's kind of late for a female of my family to be getting a period, and let alone not have had one yet. So we went to an OBGYN, and if you're wondering how I got diagnosed, it was through blood test, as a lot of things nowadays are diagnosed from. So it was a blood test. I don't remember how long it took to get back. I don't know if it was like 2 days, a week, but she called with the news, and then I was sent 45 minutes away to a specialist. But at the time, I was in a denial stage. Like, I was just in denial. Like, I didn't want to deal with it. So obviously with Turner syndrome, I cannot have kids because my ovaries are just malfunctional, which is why some people with Turner syndrome, when they do IVF, can go through IVF and try to, because IVF, like, the first part of it is like retrieving eggs. And some people with Turner syndrome may produce an egg or two, so they can like do the first part of the IVF round, and they can retrieve eggs, like 1 or 2 of those eggs that the body barely produces from the person with Turner syndrome. But me, because of my ovaries and just my certain circumstance, I will never produce eggs. So I have to do what's called egg donation, which adds about another 10 to 15,000, 6 to 15,000 onto the already very expensive IVF cost, just because I have to do egg donation. So if you know someone with Turner syndrome, please be gentle to them. It's not as uncommon as a syndrome as I thought when I was first diagnosed at 16. And it can definitely take a toll physically, but also very mentally and even spiritually and emotionally on not even just the person with Turner syndrome, but also the significant other of the person with Turner syndrome, because they have to also help the person, support the person, and then also have to deal with infertility journey too, most of the time. So, yes. So, thank you for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe. Love you all, and hope this was a little bit of informational and helped. Bye.